Hi, this is Al, aka Dusty Brick Brown from the Comic Hall and Roundtable Discussion crew. And in this video, I'm going to talk about my personal top 10 choices of X-Men books worth purchasing. If you're an X-Men completionist, as I am, you're sure to get every book on the list. However, if you're a collector of minor and major keys, this video will suit you well. Now, before I get started, this list is not part of any major channel's content, neither was this list created with any other list in mind. These are simply my personal picks for X-Men titles to grab. This video relies upon several sources to obtain aggregate values for each book showcase, those sources being Go Collect, eBay, and Key Collector. With that being said, let's begin. X-Men 64. X-Men 64 brings us the first appearance of Shiro Yoshida, better known as Sunfire, a Japanese mutant with the ability to generate and harness superheated plasma. This is a book that is yet to be added to my collection, yet it is on my radar to pick up soon. I chose this book for two reasons. Number one, I like the brashness and arrogance of Sunfire's persona, and also because of the current landscape of the Marvel superhero movies, specifically inclusion being a major theme. I can see Sunfire being picked as a character the MCU will possibly incorporate in their X-Men storytelling once the X-Men make their MCU debut. This book is attainable with mid-grade 6.0 to 7.0 going between $75 to $110 and high grades moving at $350 to about $2,900 for a 9.8 slab. Next on the list is X-Men 94. Now, this book is considered the go-to book in lieu of Giant Size X-Men. It's the second full appearance of the Giant Size crew. If you're not looking to shell out big bucks for Giant Size X-Men 1, this is the one to get. Now, it is creeping up in price as of late, but it is still affordable, with mid-grade raw copies going for $250 to $400 and high grades going from $1,000 to $2,600, with a graded 9.6 recently going for $3,600. X-Men 101. Classic Uncanny cover, classic Chris Claremont, all-around classic book. This issue is heralded as one of the greatest Bronze Age books to own in several circles. Uncanny X-Men 101 continues to shine in terms of staying power, maintaining and increasing its value over time. Being this is the first appearance of Jean Grey as the Phoenix, it is still an attainable book, with mid-grade raw copies going on average of $160 to $250 and high grades going between $700 to $2,300, with the $3,100 going price for a 9.6. Uncanny X-Men 107 is the first appearance of the Starjammers, space pirates led by Cyclops' dad, Corsair. This one is on my list for a few reasons. This book falls under the very affordable key, the possibility of the Starjammers being used in the MCU, and the current Hickman X-Men storytelling. We've already seen an increase in Uncanny X-Men 96 with the revelation that Moira McTaggart was a mutant. I surmised before his run on the title is done, there will be other books in the Uncanny Volume 1 run that I'm sure will receive the same treatment. Being that Corsair is currently involved in the current X-Men story, there may be a revelation in the pages of that book that will cause this book to spike. At the moment, mid grades for this book are going between $40 to $80 and high grades running the gambit of $160 to $800, with a 9.8 slab sold for $5,500. X-Men 121. First full appearance of Department H's team of Canadian superheroes, Alpha Flight. Now, if you're a longtime subscriber of our channel, you know that I have been a longtime proponent of the team as they are one of my favorite Marvel properties. Alpha Flight has been on the rumor mill radar for the last few weeks. It's been rumored recently they'll be joining the ranks of the MCU whenever production is in full swing. That right now we don't know, we'll just have to wait and see. But it makes sense to me, as X-Men rumors have long since hinted that Alpha Flight may be a part of their debut. We'll see eventually. Anywho, again, I'm a huge fan of Alpha Flight and I hope we see their original team lineup. Raw grades for this book is going between $50 to $75 and high grades raw, going about $120 to $500, with the $700 price tag on a slab 9.8. X-Men 126. First appearance of Proteus, mutant son of Moira and Joseph McTaggart. This book is on the list as the X-Men needs enemies. While there are other high-profile villains that could be used for the X-Men in the MCU, it is a possibility that little-known villains might be used. Not to mention, Proteus has played a big role in the X-Men reboot and may further be explored in the series. Now, this key seems to be the lowest priced Uncanny titles on the list that I've seen, with mid-grades going for around $25 to $40 and high-grade copies selling for $50 to $80 raw, with the graded 9.8 selling for $230. Uncanny XMen 221. Now, to say this book is a bargain basement key is a gross understatement. The first appearance of the psychotic geneticist Mr. Sinister, this book reminds me a great deal of the Avengers Annual 10, the first appearance of Rogue. The value of this book has waxed and waned over the last few years, but as with the previous entry, this book is insanely affordable. Current prices are currently putting mid-grades between $10 to $20 and high grades going for $50 to $100, with the 9.8 slab selling for around $210 recently. X-Men number 4, volume 2. Now, by proxy, when Wolverine makes his MCU appearance, he's going to have enemies, and Sabretooth can't be the only one. Now, while Deadpool 2 explored the character, I wasn't sold. This is of course referring to the first appearance of Arkady Rosevich, aka Omega Red. This falls in the category of an undervalued key, which is good if you don't have a copy. I've seen this book in $2 bins as recently as 2 years ago. Now, mid-grades currently go for $10 to $18 raw and $40 to $75 raw, and a high grade with a 9.8 CGC recently going for $170. Now, last book on the list is Marvel Team Up Annual number 1. This is the only non-X-Men title book on the list. And I picked this book on the strength that number 1, this is a very affordable minor key. And number 2, it opens up a possible connection in the future with the X-Men and Spider-Man in the realm of the MCU, as this book is the first appearance of the giant-sized X-Men team outside of the X-Men title. Now, mid-grades for this book are going for around $10 to $30. High grades from around $38 to $60, with a 9.8 slab selling for $600. So, there you have it. My personal top 10 list of X-Men keys to think about getting at some point. If you're in the market of picking up some affordable keys, this list may suit you well. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share our channel to others. If this video gets enough likes, I'll look into doing a part 2. All in all, we thank you for your time and we really appreciate your viewership. Thank you again.